We have a tendency to think of inherited wealth passed down from generation to generation as old money that some individuals are fortunate enough to possess. In point of fact, anyone who brings in more money than they spend is capable of leaving a financial legacy behind for their children and grandchildren. However, earning a lot of money does not ensure that your offspring will be financially secure throughout their lives. If you want to be financially independent not only for yourself, but also for your children and their children, you need to start planning ahead well in advance of when you plan to retire. In this video, we will discuss some of the most effective ways to preserve wealth for future generations, as well as some of the most effective ways to convert income into generational wealth. However, before we start our video, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. 1. Know and love your money. You really do need to look at and become familiar with your money, despite the fact that this may sound like an obvious statement to make. When it comes to your financial obligations and obligations to others, don't be a stranger. If you want to build wealth, you need to get honest about what liabilities you have, and trust me when we say that we understand how easy it can be to turn away from your debt like an ostrich with its head buried in the sand. But if you want to build wealth, you need to get honest about what liabilities you have. Therefore, formulate a strategy. Keep in mind that the fact that you are making payments toward your debt does not indicate that you have to pay it off entirely at once. Being mindful with your financial decisions is another manner in which you may show love for your money. Have you ever had the feeling that you had money flowing in, and then all of a sudden, poof! It was gone? It will trickle away like water from a dripping faucet if you don't monitor your spending, don't have a budget, and don't have a system for managing your money. If you do not pay attention to how your money is being spent, it is impossible to amass wealth. You can avoid the issue of a dripping faucet by either developing a method of money tracking on your own or purchasing a solution from a person who specializes in finances. Last but not least, what should be done with the leftovers? This is exactly the kind of predicament we want to be in. You will have a crystal clear picture of the amount of money you have left over to invest once you have had the opportunity to assess what obligations you are subject to, tracked your money, and decided where you will no longer be spending money. Putting your money into investments can allow you to increase your wealth. Who wouldn't adore something like that? To invest in life insurance death. The subject is one that we avoid discussing because, at best, it gives us the willies, and at worst, it terrifies us. Even if we can't stop death from coming to us one day, we can get ready for it and be ready when it does. If I could only advocate for one thing, it would be life insurance, but the type would depend on your specific needs, of course. Believe it or not, regardless of whether you go with term, whole, or universal life insurance, the policy can also function as an investment or savings account. This can also be of great assistance in times of need, such as when there is an unforeseen expense or an unanticipated emergency. 3. Create an estate plan. That's correct, if you are over the age of 18 and still living and breathing, you need to create an estate plan. A collection of legal documents that provide clear direction on how your assets should be allocated, and who should perform the assigning, in the event that you become incapacitated or pass away is referred to as an estate plan. It is a common assumption that estate planning is only for wealthy and renowned people, like the families of Bridgerton. However, this is not the case, thus, you owe it to your ancestors to make sure that your belongings are protected. There are skeptics regarding estate planning, just like there are for any other aspect of life. You should do it for the sake of the people you care about. If your friends and loved ones are aware of your wishes, you must ensure that the appropriate documentation is in place, otherwise, your wishes will not be legally binding. The term estate may appear to be an intimidatingly large term that does not accurately describe your possessions, but in reality, it refers to everything, including your home, your bank accounts, and sentimental items. Even if you haven't yet achieved the financial objectives you've set for yourself, you may have peace of mind in the knowledge that they will be safeguarded even as you keep working toward achieving them. Keep in mind that arranging your estate is not just for you, it is a selfless effort that you are performing for the benefit of your loved ones. Having a well-thought-out estate plan ensures that all of your hard-earned wealth will be passed on to your children, their children, and the children of their children's children. You have the right concept. Even better, your family will be able to avoid probate court, will have immediate access to your assets, and won't have to wait on the state to continue paying your bills, pay for a funeral or cremation, or pay for who will take care of your babies or your business if you have a proper estate plan in place. Having an estate plan can even help lessen the likelihood of family disagreements in the future. If you make your wishes clear when you still have the ability to do so, it will be difficult for others to argue against them after you are gone. that even when you're not physically present, you'll never lose control of the situation. 4. Establish a business succession plan. When thinking about ways to accumulate wealth, it is essential to also examine how that wealth might be preserved and passed down to future generations. Therefore, after you have completed setting up your estate plan, the next step is to arrange for the succession of your business. If you want your family to continue to profit from the family business after you're gone, you should consider passing it on to them. If, on the other hand, members of your family desire to make a claim to your company, there may be some complications if your bylaws or operating agreement do not include an express distribution to your estate. Therefore, it is important to do an analysis of the structure of your company in order to identify any areas that might put it at risk of legal action. It is important to keep in mind that the level of protection you get as a sole proprietor is far lower than that of an LLC or corporation. It is vital to come to an agreement regarding who owns what portion of the business if there are numerous owners or a partnership involved in the enterprise. If something were to happen to you, such as becoming unable to care for yourself or passing away, you should make it clear how you want the business to be managed going forward and whether or not you want it to be sold. In either case, you need to take steps to guarantee that the company you've developed will, in some fashion or another, continue to be of service to your family. 5. Protect your intellectual property. Remember that protecting your intellectual property is essential to the success of your company, and don't let it slip your mind. Building a brand on something that isn't protected is a waste of time. You've probably heard of someone who developed incredible software or selected a wonderfully catchy brand name, only to find out that someone else already owned it, and now the attorney for the person who built it or chose the name is threatening to sue them if they don't stop using it. That won't be you, and it doesn't have to be if you just do some careful planning and study. When searching for the most effective method to safeguard the reputation you've worked so diligently to build, registering a trademark should be one of your top considerations. If you want to avoid ever having to change the name of your business or program, for instance, you can do so by registering your business or program name as a trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, USDO, which will make it registered throughout the United States. You also have the option of registering your name as an international trademark if you have significant and worldwide aspirations. The process of laying the groundwork for the accumulation of wealth through generations has to start somewhere, and that someplace might be with you. One of the best decisions you can make as an executive is to start protecting your company's assets as soon as possible rather than waiting until later. Therefore, make a conscious decision right now to start being deliberate with how you spend both your time and your money so that you can live a life free of regrets. So, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Use the comments section below to tell us what you think about the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of all the latest videos.